good book writing weather.
Yeah, it's good book reading weather.
Yes,
that's what I'm doing after work
well.
today.
Yeah, I don't blame you. This is good weather for it. I'm Humberto Giles Sanchez.
And I'm Mimi Herrick.
And today we have a good episode for you. We're talking, as we start to get that warmer weather in, once we, if you've been keeping track of the forecast on our website.
It's coming this weekend.
Or our show, yeah. So it is coming this weekend, and you might need some of these tips to kind of help you survive that heat. We do it every year, every summer. Once it gets here in KOTA territory, it just gets blistering hot. Yeah. Not humid, thankfully. I'm really happy it doesn't get as humid as it does back home.
Oh my God, yeah. In Chicago, it's bad, but we're lucky here.
Yes,
okay.
Big luck.
We kind of started off this week with lowering your energy bill and some tips to keep that AC, more often on in the summer because it gets expensive quickly.
Save you those Boku bucks for your wallet.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that I want to start off with is get your air conditioner checked or replaced. If it's pretty old, you might want to get a little checkup done because that'll save you a lot of money in the long run. If you find out that you have a faulty air conditioner and you're running it and it's not blowing any cold air into your house, just blowing air, that's a waste of money.
Yeah, it's not a fun time either because let me tell you, that air that just gets blown into your apartment or your home, it's just
right from outside.
Yeah, not the best. But some other ways that you can also do that is by maybe, once you're done at night, you don't want to have that AC on all day because at night it gets cooler and it kind of matches the same temperature you usually have your AC on unless you have it really low. But kind of getting those window treatment, make sure that the perimeter of that window is sealed correctly. Make sure that whenever you close the window, it closes correctly as well, so that way you don't have any cracks in there.
Yeah, another one with that, on that same window note, close your blinds during the day and open your windows at night. Again, just helps cool things off. I personally do that a lot because it ends up saving you a lot of money.
It's like usually whenever I do get the chance on the weekends to wake up to the sun, it's great first of all, but also once that sun hits my face, I usually end up closing my blinds, wake up, get ready for the day, go out, do something, be productive for the day. But usually, yes, whenever that sun starts to come peek its head over kind of the Black Hills, you want to make sure you close those blinds, whichever way it is. Mine goes downwards, so I go bloop.
Yeah.
Or you can use to go sideways, whichever one you want, whichever one you have. But that, and also maybe kind of invest in some of those blinds, or maybe some weather. I forgot what they're called, but they're like weather blinds. They're meant to be specifically for like kind of nighttime. During the winter they keep the warmth in. During the summer they keep it cool in your apartment. Curtains, blinds. Invest in some of those weather specific ones. You watching right now, you know what I'm talking about. It has like that little kind of.
I don't. I have no idea.
It has like a little certification symbol on the actual packaging when you buy it at the store.
Okay. All right. Another one that we have, getting away from that, is unplugging your devices you don't need during the day. That'll help lower that electric bill. And then another one is adjusting your thermostat. I saw a statistic that anything above 75 degree will save you 10 to 15% on your energy bill. Again, that depends on where you're at and how much other electricity you're using. But if you're willing to withstand a little bit of heat, like that 75 degrees and higher area, it is definitely worth it because it'll save you a ton of money.
Yes. Also, if you are indoors and you do you are more of a kind of cold person, this would be perfect temperature. But if you're more of a kind of that hot person, also maybe shed your sweater that you're usually wearing. So just a t-shirt. That also definitely helps help you keep cool in your own home. But also, if you use a fan, make sure that you're using that fan correctly. And it also depends on what kind of fan you're using. You got ceiling fans, floor fans, oscillating fans, exhaust fans, and many other kind of fans as well. But you want to make sure that if you're using a fan that's specifically like a box fan, you want to make sure it's pointing outward, so that way all that heat goes out and not in. You're getting that good air in and getting that hot air out of your home.
I learned that the hard way in college.
Oh, yes. I was telling you right now, back in my college years, I say that as if I'm old.
We both, I think, act that way, and it's not.
Not to call anybody out, not to call our viewers out or anything. I'm just saying that. I feel like I say that all the time, even though I'm pretty young for my age. But anyways, back in college, a good way, if you were in a dorm your freshman year, you probably also use this trick. Make sure that fan's pointing outward from your dorm, so that way you get that nice cool air that stays in while also having that disgusting hot air, humid air.
Yeah, getting it out of your room.
Yes, but that's a good way to use kind of fans in general, like a box fan and whatnot. But also some other good things. invest in maybe a dehumidifier if you know dehumidifier.
Really
at least
help.
around here, I would say humidifier because I know that's a big problem around here.
Yeah, you know, dehumidifiers are awesome because if you hate that musty, mildewy basement smell and you have a musty, mildewy basement, it really helps suck that moisture out of the air and keep it so things in your home don't get water damage from it being humid.
Yes. Also, kind of close some rooms as well. If you have multiple rooms in your apartment or your home, make sure you keep kind of some of those unused rooms or rooms that you might not use that often closed, so that way your AC doesn't have to work as hard to kind of cool off most of the house. Or if you do have a whole kind of a home with a whole AC system, it kind of helps keep that room cool as well.
Yeah. Another one. I guess moving on to our next topic from this week, we talked about water conservation because we are experiencing some drought conditions here across KOTA territory, different levels depending on where you're at. That drought monitor actually will come out today, so we'll have that on our noon show, the latest update with that. But we just have some everyday tips for you to help reduce your water usage and sort of, again, save you money on that water bill. But turning off the water when you're brushing your teeth. I know everyone knows that tip. It's one of those ones that they always say. Another one, shorten your showers. I know I personally do like to stand in the shower for a bit longer than I should, but in the summer it is, and in drought conditions generally, it is a great idea to just kind of be as quick as possible.
Yes, kind of keep that in mind, you know, as you do that, kind of limit that time that you use water in your home as well. And, you know, kind of don't let, again, going off of what you said with the shower and the brushing your teeth aspect of it, don't let water run unnecessarily. I know that sometimes when you're going out and gardening, I know today you can let nature kind of garden your crops if you do a lot of outdoor gardening your plants.
Yeah, water your lawn.
Yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, if you don't need to use that water, especially when you're gardening, close that faucet, close whatever you're using. Fill up only what you need when you do kind of garden, if you plan on doing that. But it goes into the gardening aspect of water wisely. But also going back to the in-home stuff, use water efficient appliances. I know that there's some appliances have water sense.
Yeah, I have that
consider
here.
investing in that.
It could save you up to $350 per year. On average, this is the average across all WaterSense labeled appliances, but there's WaterSense toilets, there's WaterSense dryers, there's WaterSense washers, there's WaterSense dishwashers.
Shower heads, everything.
Yeah, everything you could possibly imagine. And it just becomes more efficient with its water usage so that you're using less, so it saves you money and also helps in drought conditions conserve water.
Yes, and something that is also a big thing, at least I am guilty of it, doing it sometimes, not all the times, I'm getting better at it, is making sure that when you're washing dishes, that water stays off as well. Fill up the extra kind of, if you have one, fill up the extra space in your sink with some water. Put some like dishwashing soap if you want, or some other stuff that cleans your dishes, whatever you use. Put it in that one. That way you can kind of wash with your sponge, rinse out, and then you're good.
Yeah, that is a really, really good tip here. It really, really does help you with that conservation aspect because you use it seems like you're using a lot of water when you're filling up your sink, right? Yeah. But you're actually using less by filling up the sink and rinsing that way rather than continuously running water. So.
And if you do laundry, make sure that you're doing it, you're not doing it just all in one day, or at least try to kind of spread it out the best that you can, so that way it's not wasting too much water and you're not doing the heavy loads all the time.
Yeah, and doing full loads, not heavy loads, there's a huge difference there as well. Full loads when using the dishwasher or washing machine, just so you run it less, right? You don't want to be constantly running everything. And I know I'm super guilty of letting my laundry pile up into really heavy loads. So, you know, avoid doing what I do.
Like personally myself, I'm getting better at that stuff. I'm working on it, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say you're also working on it as well.
Working is a strong, that's a strong term for what I'm doing. I think I'm just trying to do my laundry semi-regularly and getting it all done, right?
Yeah, and it's hiking season too, so whenever you do go out to hike, make sure that you're, you know, kind of carry a reusable water bottle and drink. That way you can kind of drink it throughout the day and you're not constantly having to go back to that sink or back to your fridge to fill that up when you need it. And then hydrating foods too, that also can help. Cucumbers, fruits, those really help a lot sometimes.
Yeah, they do really help.
Yep.
I think that kind of covers it for our heat-related tips, and it is Thursday, so that means it is KOTA Cares Day. If you go to our website, kotatv.com, you can find a whole section of KOTA Cares. We're going to be talking about, you know, some of the benefits of getting involved in local organizations. It's something that I think is really important to both of us. So.
Yes, it really is. And you know, kind of today, kind of smiled a little bit during our trending section in Good Morning Black Hills, hearing that Prairie Farms donated a ton of milk to Feeding South Dakota, and it's, again, like we mentioned there, it was something I wasn't aware that was a very big, popular, asked for item.
But it's the least donated. I think that was a really interesting thing.
Yeah, and I can see why it can be least donated considering it's dairy product, but still, you know, it's really cool to see that, you know, community members are coming together to support one another, even if it is a big, you know, production place like Prairie Farms.
Yeah,
but kind of going off of that, feeding off of that a little bit, some benefits to donating to local organization. It kind of helps you strengthen your community bond with the local community, whether it's here, Hill City, wherever you are, Lee, Deadwood, doesn't matter. It kind of helps make sure that you build that community bond with your neighbors, and also improves quality of life for the area. You never know what someone is going through and when you might need that service as well. But it also helps with economic growth of the city or town you're in, kind of helps give back to that as well. Helps maybe in some cases might even help you kind of achieve personal fulfillment in whatever your goals are for that month, that year, that day. And also it kind of helps you, if you are more of the financial person, it helps you with your tax benefits.
Yes.
That's for those people that are more into the financials. Unfortunately, I don't know much of the details behind that, so I can't really elaborate on that, but I know it does help.
I'm definitely more on the sort of doing side of these benefits. You know, it is really great also to see the direct impact. You know, when you are doing something charitable, maybe not necessarily always to people, but even if you volunteer at places like the Humane Society, seeing the benefit to the animals there, people in your community, it can be really exciting and beneficial and feel really good to connect with people that way.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned whenever you donate time, because it's also very, you know, commonly mistaken that it is a monetary donation that you have to give. No, you can also volunteer your time. Yeah. Volunteer yourself, you know, go out and kind of help out with whatever they're doing, whether it's a giveaway, whether it's a kind of a fundraiser or something like that. And that
even like those 5K walks or runs for charity or to raise money for organizations, those are a lot of fun and an easy way to get involved in the community as well. You know, it only takes like 30 to 40 minutes to do a 5K, depending on if you're walking or running, but you know, it can be really fun and fast.
Not only that, but it also helps you increase awareness at what's going on in your community as well.
Yes.
What are the areas that need help? What can you do to help? And then also, this is kind of an interesting one, because this one, I will say I was very much a person that got impacted by someone that was given to the community. It is kind of a positive role model in the community as well. You know, if you go out and help, a youth could see you and be like, you know, I want to do that too when I'm older. Or maybe even a college student can see and be like, I want to do that as well. Or your neighbor can be like, hey, I want to do that as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It can be really inspiring to see it. I know when I was younger, I volunteered at the YMCA a lot when I was younger, just because I swam there, I lifeguarded there. It just made sense. But I remember when I was little, I always wanted to be like the big girls who were helping volunteer at the Wise events.
Exactly.
So.
You know, and like I said,
it worked.
It works. It works 100%. And most importantly of all, it helps build a sustainable community. Again, goes back toward, you know, being involved in the community, being aware, kind of helping strengthen your community bonds with not only your neighbors, but also with the whole town or city that you're in. And all of these can be helped. And again, it doesn't have to be monetary value. It can be just time, your time. It can be an item that you donate. If they accept items, it can be an item that you donate. It can be monetary. It can be time. It can be whatever that you can think of. Just ask if you can donate that, and they'll let you know 100%. But some of the nonprofits here, I know we've covered recently.
I wanted to cover some of the ones that we have talked about recently in the past couple weeks here at KOTA Territory. One that's always on the forefront of our minds is Feeding South Dakota. That organization is really great in helping stop hunger in the Black Hills and across the state as well. They take donations of money or food. Make sure that you check their website before you donate food, just to make sure that what you're donating is safe and able to be donated. Yes. And then if you wanted to get involved volunteering, they need people administratively in their food distribution center and also in their mobile food distribution. Last week's KOTA Cares, I believe, was Black Hills Raptor Center. So that one is monetary donations mostly, but that supports their mission of protecting birds of prey and their habitats. If you did want to volunteer, they are looking for people to help build, help run educational programs, and if you are willing to work with the birds, obviously that'll take a little more of a vetting and training process there, but they are looking for people to do that as well. Another one we did is Suncatcher Therapeutic Riding Academy. So that helps people heal through horse therapy, which can be, sort of physical therapy and also mental health therapy. Just getting to be with horses is cool. So if you wanted to volunteer there, you can volunteer with the horses, you can help them with maintenance. If you are looking to become a rider, you can go to our website, kotatv.com, find that story under KOTA Cares, and there's some information there on how to get involved as a rider. But yeah, they'll take monetary donations as well there. And then another one was A Bridge Between Us. I wrote this wrong in our note. It just says A Between Us. A Bridge Between Us. And this is monetary donations mostly, and this supports their mission to help veterans adjust to civilian life through outdoor adventures. So they have a lot of ways to get involved there. Again, if you are looking to participate in the outdoor adventures as a veteran, they have information on their website. You can find that on our website just by going quickly to kotatv.com/KOTACares.
Yes, and of course, these are quite literally, there's a plethora of other nonprofits we have on there that you can find in your local community, whether it's here in Rapid City, Spearfish, Hill City, wherever it might be. There is nonprofits waiting for your help, whether, again, like I said, it's monetary, your time, or however you wish to, however you can help, to be more exact. But with that being said, I'm Humberto Sanchez.
And I'm Mimi Herrick. Have a great rest of your Thursday.